Hey, welcome back. This is episode 71 of the Part-Time Players podcast. This is a video game podcast where three pals discuss the week's video news. Jesus Christ. My name is Reece Lagden. I am joined by Brad Seeley.
Hello.
Hi. And I'm also joined by the other Brad Maw. Welcome back.
Hey. Welcome back to you too. One of the worst intros I've ever done, I think. But
I know, that was a little bit awkward. I messed up, and I feel like you guys just domino effect.
Yeah.
Blame it on me. It's fine.
I'm fragile, so...
Why are you fragile?
I've been drinking a lot.
You've been drinking a lot. You've got drinking problems.
Yeah, drinking a lot. Oh, did you go out? No, just...
No, just a bottle.
Yeah, just drinking.
Yeah, just drinking. By yourself drinking, fine.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it now, I think.
Well, what have you been drinking? Beers or what
Beers, some spirits.
Yeah, what is your go-to spirit?
Vodka, usually.
Vodka. Okay, all right. Brad Maw, what's yours?
Vodka cranberry.
Red wine.
Red wine? No, spirit.
Oh, my go-to spirit. Probably gin.
Gin, yeah, I like a gin. I do like a gin. I also like a rum, a spiced rum. Occasionally goes down very nice.
We had a little phase, didn't we, playing Destiny and drinking dark rum or spiced rum.
I feel like we shouldn't broadcast these.
True.
It's fine. I tell you what I watched. I watched that Shang-Chi, the Marvel movie.
Okay, yeah.
On Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Not the best Marvel movie, but it was decent. I quite enjoyed it.
I'm going to...
Have you guys seen it?
No, I'm downloading it to watch on a plane.
Oh, all right. That's not a bad idea.
And that's a good shout. I'm travelling to London later, so I might download it for the train.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you guys watched Black Widow yet?
No, I'm downloading that for the plane as well.
Okay. All right. Well, we know what Brad was doing.
Yeah.
Brad Seeley, sorry.
Yeah. Downloaded films.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Fair enough. It's good shout.
Mm-hmm.
I think, when does Hawkeye start? Is it next week or
24th of November? Yeah. So next week. No, the week after.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
I think it's not this Wednesday. The following Wednesday. Yeah.
All right. Fine. Cool. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
Yeah. It just should be good. I might download the first episode for the plane.
All right. It's just everything I'm saying is just I'm just gonna do that on the first episode of my plane. Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, we've got a few news stories as always, and then we're going to be rounding up with my impressions of GTA Trilogy. And then I think the guys got some questions what I want answered, and I guess I don't know. I'm just going to discuss my thoughts of whether or not it stands up in 2021, and maybe we can talk about why it's getting review bombed or whatever. I think it's a little bit harsh, personally, the way it has been review bombed. But if your game's not working, then I totally understand. Maybe I'm a little bit lucky with my copy. But obviously, as always, please go and like and subscribe to the podcast on any podcast platform where you listen to it. And obviously on YouTube, we also post it there as an audio version. So obviously still go and like. You can't thumbs down anymore because that's now been removed by YouTube. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Well, I don't know why that would be. I don't know why
apparently,
they took it off.
Yeah, it's apparently abuse.
Well, to have a different opinion for someone.
Yeah.
If you've got different opinions, someone saying something on a video, that's abuse.
Mate, Google, don't know, Google has defined that as abuse, thumbing down someone's video. People are a little bit sensitive on the internet. Don't know if you've been on Twitter lately.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't go on Twitter. So, yeah.
And the comment section in a lot of YouTube videos are quite toxic. So, I think they've just thought.
We've got to really hope we don't go to war in the next 10 years because this isn't doing much for the toughness of our next generation.
They can't have a thumbs down.
To be fair, I'd never really thumbs down videos anyway. I think I've done it twice, and they're just videos where I'm like, I actually done one the other day because I was watching a review about the Definitive Edition, and like this guy.
Our video.
I don't know if it was if he was doing like. I don't know if it was supposed to be like satire, but it was such a bad video. It was terrible. And I was like, this deserves a thumbs down.
Wow. I don't think I've ever thumbs down anything.
I like thumbs down for clickbait. I think clickbait is an important, because you'll see clickbait videos all the time of like, unlimited, like, let me just give an example, like, unlimited exotic engram glitch. And then it's like, you just need to farm a lost sector, like, and play the game. And it's like, well, that's not an exotic glitch that's just playing the game, and it's misinformative. And if I go into a video and I see that there's a load of thumbs down, I'll just be like, okay, this is going to be a load of bollocks. And if there's a load of thumbs up, I'll think, oh, that's a good indication. This is going to be helpful, for example. But yeah, clickbait, I think, can be called out with thumbs down, which is quite useful.
True. So the whole model with Reddit as well, right? When you get a thumbs liked and disliked, the post gets more exposure and things. So they're still there apparently in the background. Like people, like the person who's posted the videos can see them. So maybe you can still do it. It's just not displayed. So maybe you can still do it. It's just not public.
Can't see.
Yeah, the public just can't see it. Yeah. So actually, now thinking about it.
Well, I'm just going to go on even if I like the video, I'm just going to go on a thumbs down rampage.
Wow. All right. You're just going to review bomb everybody's video.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
Unbelievable. We'll go on to the news, I guess. It's not part of the news, but I thought I'll just mention it because I like talking about Avengers quickly. But obviously, Spider-Man got revealed this week. They showed a little cinematic trailer of him.
It looked terrible.
It didn't look terrible. It just looked like Spider-Man.
When I was watching it, and then I went into the comments and said, look, and everyone agreed with me, so I was validated.
All right, fine.
It just looked so sluggish. Like Spider-Man didn't seem to have the agility and speed like Spider-Man should have. He just looked really, I don't know. It just looked, yeah.
From a cinematic trailer. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Like when you watch like the cinematic trailer or even just the gameplay for his next Spider-Man, you're like, wow, you get the sense of speed and agility, and you just didn't get it from this Spider-Man.
Okay, all right.
Someone put in the comments is like, like that thing of people, can we get Spider-Man? And it's like, no, we have Spider-Man at home. This is the Spider-Man at home. This is, it does look bad.
All right.
Yeah.
I would hold judgment until you actually see gameplay, I guess. It's just a cinematic trailer, but fine. I thought we looked fine. I thought we looked like Spider-Man. Like playing the Spider-Man is what it is. Anyway, they did a live stream and they showed a load of these different outfits, which obviously they're going to make money from. And then they went into a whole 20 minutes, which I kind of stopped watching. They started talking about the raid, and also they reworked the armor completely. They've actually adding perk roles, a bit like Destiny, and actually making like character specific roles. So like if you play as Hulk, you only can like pick up his armor. He might have a specific role which enhances one of his abilities and things like that. So all right, some people may say that should have been in the game initially, which probably, but maybe the game ain't as dead as I initially thought, because that's quite a big overhaul to be completely adding roles into the game. So yeah,
bacon rolls.
Bacon. Yep, so I've got a roll anyway. But yeah, enough about Avengers. But we're going to the first.
I think I like Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man. I like the games. You know what? I don't like. Sometimes his can-do attitude really does get on my nerves, like the quips and all that. And I'm just like, oh, nah. It just, it doesn't.
That's part of the character, right?
Yeah, I know. That's part of the character that I like. He's, he's happy, and he's always happy, joking. Don't like it. Just don't like. Just there's no room. There's no room for that kind of attitude.
Do you know like Deadpool either?
Deadpool swears, so that makes me laugh. So that's better. Yeah,
fine.
Yeah. And obviously it's Ryan Reynolds. So how can you not? Obviously in the films. How can you not like Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, no, I like that about Spider-Man. I think what makes him a bit more unique to other characters. He stands out.
Ryan Reynolds is a comedian because he bought a Welsh football team. So this is it. This is he's got a good sense of humour.
Yeah. Partnership with the guy from Only Sunny, right?
Yeah, Rob McElhenney.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Bought a football team. Anyway, news story number 1 is about the Steam Deck being delayed by 2 months to February 2022. So Steam Deck is a handheld gaming PC. Obviously, people at home don't know. And it's been delayed by 2 months. It was initially going to be launching in December. And it's basically down to chips and manufacturing.
Like everything else.
Yeah, there seems to be they're trying to do their best to work around global supply chain issues, and unfortunately was unable to meet the dates or the demand of the supply, because obviously they're all believe sold out.
Yeah.
If you did pre-order it. So obviously I know none of us have pre-ordered it and we're probably not going to jump in or whatever, but thought it's a worthwhile thing bringing up. What's your thoughts on hardware being affected this much? Obviously, PlayStation, Xboxes, Switches,
cars,
everything seems to not be available.
Yeah.
When is this going to end, gentlemen? What's going on with the world?
I think I saw something that it won't be until like halfway through, maybe 2022. They said that it will get back to the steady stream of what it was before the pandemic. So,
in terms of like manufacturing or actual like things being in shops,
I don't know if it's like if it's the manufacturing, obviously, then the distribution.
Yeah,
because then not only is, even if there was ramping them up now, I don't know how it works as I'm not a logistics man, but there's like a global shortage of like delivery for like truck drivers and there's and everything. So I don't know.
It's really hard to know as well because everything's back to normal, like pretty much in this country, but other countries are still pretty fucked. And it depends where these things are manufactured and what their situation is there. Like around Europe, there's still countries that have got like a lockdown pending and hardly anyone's vaccinated. And here, like in the UK, it just seems everything's back to normal now. It doesn't feel like there's a lockdown around the corner. I mean, there could be, but certainly doesn't feel like it.
It is.
And every single country is very different mindset. I speak to my friends in Ireland and they're still fucked. Like he owns a pub, his pub's still shut. He is like where we were 18 months ago. And it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The whole world isn't the same as us. Everyone's on a different
no, that's a good
level.
I guess a good point. I don't know what it's like in Asia because they're generally made like in the Far East, right?
Made in Taiwan, to be fair. I think that's where
the chips and stuff. Yeah, a lot of the components and silicon chips are made by the Taiwan company. But I don't know. I guess we just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Would it be delayed again? We'll have to see that as well.
In terms of it being delayed, I'm not surprised because I think we just everyone's got used to stuff being delayed. It's mad that we're coming up to what next week is going to be a year. The PlayStation 5 would have been out for a year and they're still hard to get hold of.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
It is crazy, yeah.
But in terms of it being delayed, I'm not surprised. It's a bummer for people who did pre-order it and want to get their hands on. But
do we know how much they are or anything yet?
Yeah.
Well, the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
There's like three different
models, like 3 different versions, I think, in there. So
depending on how much memory you get. So I've only got it in dollars in front of me, but basically the 64 gig is $399. The 256 gig, which is also SSD, is $529. And then the 512 gig SSD is $649. Obviously all in dollars there.
Just thinking of Destiny on the go. I might have to pick myself up one.
The availability underneath, it says expected availability will be Q2 2022. Right. So if you haven't pre-ordered it now, it looks like they won't even be available to even purchase.
Yeah, and Q2 that's like the summer.
Yeah, spring.
Spring, early summer. So
Yep.
Bad news. But you can go get an Xbox Series S. There's loads of them. So
does that say something about it? Like, what was you expecting? Like, I was expecting maybe them to sell quite a lot of S's, but perhaps it's just not. Which is not surprising.
I'd definitely get an S over an X. 1, because I can't get the X, and 2, I don't play it enough to justify getting the X. So
but is it enough of an upgrade from the Xbox One? Right, like that. Is that the problem with it? Is that middle road where it's kind of an upgrade because it's got the SSD? It's obviously digital only, but in terms of actual power, it's not much more powerful than what a 1X and a 4 Pro. Right, so I don't know.
No, I won't get one anyway. But I would. Should have got it when I had the trade-in deal, and I didn't.
True. Talking about Xbox, obviously their big franchise, their biggest franchise is about to get a new installment, which is obviously Halo. IGN actually had a preview on the campaign. They actually had a few hours where they were playing it. And I thought we'll just go into some of the highlights, takeaways, just because I'm intrigued by the game. I want, as a PlayStation fan, I want Halo to do well, because obviously competition breeds obviously excellence in terms of, well, just competition generally. And obviously, unfortunately, last generation, PlayStation run away with it and Xbox was nowhere near to be seen. So I'm kind of hoping this year, or this generation, sorry, Xbox will be a little bit more competitive. I imagine they will be. Obviously, Forza just come out. That's getting stellar reviews, probably the highest reviewed car game. I'd be interested in your thoughts on that, Brad, as like a GT player. Obviously, that's quite good. That's got that competition. And obviously, Halo is the biggest of them all. So before we go into it, what is your thoughts on Forza and GT and stuff like that, Brad? Do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, like... I think, I'm a bit jealous. I think I'd, if I had the time and the money, I'd switch over to Forza. I think, GT has lost its way a bit, and I think Forza is standing out as probably the better of the two. I'm sure people might disagree, but I've just been a bit disappointed with the last release of Gran Turismo. It's obviously been delayed. It's not coming out until, the end of 2022 now? It's like... No,
March.
It's March, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is March. Yeah, because it was supposed to be late. Yeah. This year. Yeah. So I think Forza looks much better. It looks unbelievable. And like, if I was to choose between the two, I'd probably jump into Forza. But there we go. I'm still undecided whether I'm going to get Gran Turismo come March. I'm going to wait and see a bit more about the reviews, a bit more about what the gameplay's like, and if it's moving away from the whole sport online sim, which I doubt very much it is, then I might be interested. But I don't really like the way the direction of the game headed last time around. So
it looks like it's returning back to its roots with the next installment. From the trailers that I have seen, it looks like it's back to normal GT. So we'll see how it reviews, see how it scores. Hopefully it does well, because it's an important franchise. Obviously car games are very popular, and
they take a long time to develop them nowadays as well. Like, there's always 5 or 6 years between them. Like, they never used to be, but they're in development for a very long time now. So there should be a lot to it. There should be a lot to it. It should be a meaty release, but we'll see.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, but back to Halo. Sorry, sorry, I had to clear my throat. So I've taken some key points from the article. So the first part was about a familiar enemy. And it's basically that Halo Infinite hasn't got any new enemy types. It's basically taken the Banished, which were from Halo Wars 2, which are basically a group of Covenant who have chosen the abandon from the Prophets instead of following a brute force. Master Chief's main objective in Halo Infinite is to free captured UNSC forces on Zelda Halo. And basically stop whatever the Banished are planning. Sounds a little bit like Destiny and Cabal, if I'm honest.
And they look like Cabal as well.
they do.
But the brutes were around long before.
True.
Destiny,
We'll get on that.
Good point.
To end this point, it says he doesn't imagine Halo Infinite is going to be a great starting point for new people to the franchise. Obviously, the story is well in with Halo Wars. There's been 5 obviously main installments of Halo, so you kind of need to know what's going on. There's a lot going on. A bit similar to problem with I guess with Destiny.
5 numbered games, but then you also got ODST and Reach as well.
Oh well, all right, fine, fair enough. Is that an issue that there's only one kind of main enemy type? Obviously, I've mentioned before about I feel like it's an issue that there's only one biome. It's like one will go into the open world sandbox. And obviously, it's also probably not friendly for new people starting as a live service. What's your thoughts on this?
The main thing that it seems like the main enemies are the brutes, but obviously also have some other Covenant mixed in with that. Is seeing jackals, and there's some elites and grunts in there as well. So you're going to have them, and there's also Forerunner enemies. I've saw like they showed that the last time we saw that preview. So there's a few different, but brutes is going to be the main antagonist. In regards to people not being able to access, I've played up to 4, and I've played Reach and ODST, played a bit of 5. I played the first Halo Wars, but I never played Halo Wars 2. So I know what a brute is, but I don't know. I don't know the full story of the Banished. I know in Halo Wars 2, there was like, I think it's going to be in this game. There's like a massive UNSC ship called the Infinity, I think it's called, and it went missing. So obviously this is where this is where it ended up. So for me, and I used to be a fan, I used to read all the books and everything. I was proper into it. I was a proper little Halo geek. So, and for me, I'm gonna have to watch a catch-up video because I'm gonna need to have not playing. It's an odd thing to do, to have I think the Banished were well received in Halo Wars, but Halo Wars and Halo, the games, are two different things. I love the Halo games, but I didn't necessarily like Halo Wars, which is obviously more of a strategy game. So for their main enemy type to be one of the, like a group from like a, like a side game kind of thing, like Halo Wars, is a bit odd. But it's I'm more excited to play it now than I was. So I'll definitely be downloading it. I'll fire up the bloody Xbox, like when you're starting a lawnmower, when you put it, you have to pull the starter cord, to get my Xbox running, and then I'll be playing that. I'm quite
okay. That's cool that you're more into wanting to play it. I've from the outside not obviously got an Xbox, so I can't play it. I probably would give it a go if you have one. Why not? It's on Game Pass. But the more and more I hear about it, the more and more I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna hit the mark. This ain't what people want. Just this from the outside. I don't know if you agree, Brad Maw, from hearing more and more about the game. Is this what Halo is to Xbox as well? Is what I'm comparing it to as well.
Sure. And I haven't played Halo games, so I feel like my comments maybe should be taken with a pinch of salt, and I have a big bias towards Destiny, but I've looked at it. I've looked at the early gameplay. I've watched the trailers, and I want, like you say, I want it to be good. A few months ago in the podcast, I was like, I'd consider jumping into it. Like if this was good enough, I'd consider jumping into Xbox potentially, or if there's another means to play it. But it just more and more looks like I don't know. It looks a bit like a Primarch Destiny. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem like that a world that I want to be invested.
That's a brilliant quote. A Primarch Destiny.
It does. It looks. Do you know what? It looks far more comparable to Doom than it does Destiny.
Sure. And Doom especially with the hook kind of thing. Master Chief has never been able to,
grappling hook,
like Link. He's never been able to do that before. So that's a new iteration. Yeah. So
it looks a bit more clean and quite. Which isn't a bad thing. It looks very snappy, but I don't know. There's something about Destiny and its variety and the biomes you said, Reece, is something you're going to go into. But I honestly think Destiny looks better. Like the atmosphere in Destiny, the different planets, and with that the different armor and weaponry. Like you've got bows that look like from from prehistoric times to hand cannons from cowboy times, and it all kind of fits in Destiny's world because all these different factions, all these different weapons, all this loot and gear that you can acquire that looks so unique and different. And Halo, it just looks like I don't know. It's just all these, the weapon type. They don't do much for me. It's it's a futuristic sort of feel to them. They're all hip fire. You can't even ADS down there, like exactly like Doom as well. It just, I don't know. It just looks like it doesn't look as good as I would like it to be, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm a little bit, I don't want to use the word concerned, but from the sound of what the Banished are, they sound like the Cabal from Destiny, like the vanilla Destiny campaign, where obviously you've got Ghoul, and they're almost like the Banished, almost.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're rebelling against, obviously, the Empire, blah, 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 and they're...
Sure.
I don't know, it seems very, like, not take from take, but I would have chose a different type of enemy if they could. I don't know. It just seems too similar. And when you're trying to turn this into almost like a live service type game where you're going to add DLC packs, and it's going to be compared to Destiny because of the link with Bungie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like try to steer away from that as much as possible because you're just going to get people comparing it. And if it's not up to scratch or not better or on par, which inevitably is probably not going to be because 343 have proven that they're not as good as Bungie with previous releases, I would have just steered away from this personally, but we'll see.
343 really have dropped the ball on it, and they're nowhere near as good as it used to be. Halo 3 was like the best. Maybe it should have ended there as well, because it ended in a way that was it. It could have left like Master Chief and Cortana story could have ended there. And I think why they brought the brutes in, I don't know, or my opinion is like when I had all the Forerunner enemies in number 4 and they're in 5 as well, it just wasn't as good. I don't like it. Like Gears of War done it, your Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, brilliant, and then Gears of War 4 they decide, we're just gonna have a lot of robots. One of your main enemy types is going to be like droids, and it's just not as good. But I think that's a discussion for another, and that can be a whole topic in its own, the downfall of Gears of War, because they just destroyed that. That's
really
terrible.
okay.
But,
yeah, I never played Gears of War either.
Yeah,
obviously, like many Xbox franchises.
I might put it together. I might put a little monologue of how they killed Gears of War, because it's not even called Gears of War anymore. They took the war out of it. So yeah, it's just so.
Really, what's it called now?
Gears. Yeah.
Is it really just called Gears?
Yeah, Gears 5. Yeah, there's Gears 5. Yeah.
Oh.
But
okay.
I think the thing that's kind of making me want to play it is kind of the kind of gameplay I like is taking over taking the camps back from the Banished and then the UNSC forces, and that's the kind of I like little gun like on Far Cry, clearing the outposts. I don't know, that's and then you've got like games where you clear regions, and then they're like in Ghost of Tsushima, you freed that our first island and second island and so on. That's the kind of thing I like. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it, and I definitely will give it. I'll probably download it day of release, get on it. Makes sense. I'll take it online as well. And
well, from the sounds of things, of what you want this game to be is exactly what you're getting. From the sounds of what they've put. Halo Infinite isn't quite a true open world. It's just a large sandboxes, which obviously you can access certain areas at a time. Zelda Halo is littered with UNC camps called forward operating bases, and you claim them from the Banished, basically. So like you said, it's just like a Ubisoft game where there's, and I guess like Horizon also adopted that, where you got the little camps. Many games have got that, and it's basically the same thing. You basically get a currency called Valor, which basically is a points-based tracker, which the more of that you get, you can cool down vehicles, weapons, reinforcements like Marines and stuff. So they said the map isn't quite as large as like Assassin's Creed or Red Dead. It's more of like a Batman Arkham type open world, where it's a little bit more like districts and things. So
yeah. I'll be jumping on. That was one of the good things about the first Halo years ago. There was a mission, like one of the first ones, you had to go around rescuing Marines and like getting them on, and like you had to like when they jump in your warthog, and I don't know, it just sounds fun. So I just hope the story's good. I hope there's a tight story. But
are you hopeful for that? Because previously the stories hasn't been
exactly
as good.
they're not been good. So I'm hoping that they would have invested in a good story, like the original, like I said, the original trilogy. And like Bungie did different, Bungie done a Halo game where you didn't even play as a Spartan, you was just playing as like a normal Marine, and then you had to tackle, you couldn't just jump in and have a massive firefight because you were just a normal Marine, you wouldn't survive, so you had to do it tactically. And so they've gone
they've learned from Bungie in storytelling, because Bungie didn't, like, even with Destiny's release, Destiny 1, Destiny 2, like they've got so much better with their storytelling over time, without using too much resources. They've managed to, the last year, they've really nailed on the in-game storytelling without taking away from all the action that you're diving in for. They found that balance, and hopefully they can learn from that.
343 just kind of like that when Bungie was in charge, you had like side characters that you liked, and if there's consequences with them, you felt it. But with like Halo 5 as well, like when 343 done that story, they tried to like make Master Chief, like he kind of like they branded him as a villain, and they had all these other next generation Spartans going after him, and it's like no, like you have to play as them. So you're doing a mission as Master Chief, then you do a mission as, I think his name was Locke, and then yeah, it's kind of like Metal Gear Solid 2 when you had to play as Raiden. You know, you're playing a Halo game, you want to play as Master Chief. That's
Sure.
you know, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
He's the OG Spartan, John 117. That's who you want to play as. You know?
Sure. Yeah, no, I get that. I reckon it's going to be really short.
Yeah.
Just by how much they've not shown, the fact that it's a live service type game, I reckon the campaign maximum 10 hours, maybe less.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be an Anthem 2.0 without a doubt. I think it's going to be people will enjoy it. It's Halo. It's going to get a fan base by default. And I think it's going to fall empty very bit too quickly.
Yeah.
And then it'll probably in a year's time, 2 years' time, they'll make it good.
Yeah. I think that's the benefit of, because they've got Microsoft funding it, Xbox, whatever. And obviously they got their plan for the next year. If they even showed like a roadmap, I know obviously every 3 months is like the season length, and then obviously season 2 you get the co-op. But I don't know I can't remember what else they said you're getting in like season 2 and season. Do you know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they've laid that out of what you're getting. But considering, we need to also remember this was delayed by a year, and this is still the state of it. Like this should have been a game from last year. And this ain't because of COVID, which many games have suffered from. It literally, they delayed it by a year because of how bad it looked in that E3. You got slated. So, yeah. I hope it's good. I'm not saying this because I don't want it to be good, but I'm not hopeful. I think the multiplayer is going to be good, and that's probably why they separated it. So everybody's like, oh, multiplayer is really fantastic. The campaign is just like, work in progress. You'll get more later.
Yeah, I'll play both. I'll play the campaign and I'll play multiplayer as well. Because
give us your thoughts.
Halo multiplayer used to be,
Sure.
I used to be quite good at it as well. Yeah, I used to hold my own.
All right. Yeah. Jump into Destiny. Crucible.
No, that scares me. I don't want to do it.
Well, PvP. Yeah.
It scares me.
It scares all of us. Yeah, very competitive at times. Anyway, next news story, which is another thing taken from IGN, is they did an interview this week with Todd Howard, which is obviously the head of Bethesda Game Studios. It's been there, feels like forever, right? It's like one of those OG developers, directors just stayed, not stepped down. Seems like he's going to be there forever. Anyway, some key points that he basically revealed. One, when they started making Starfield, they decided that it was now or never scenario because of obviously with Fallout and Elder Scrolls franchise and how long they take to play. They wanted to make the new game, and they decided after Fallout, it was like, well, we've got to kind of do it now or when. Obviously, as a result, we've had to wait pretty much looks like it's going to be 15 years between Elder Scrolls games.
Mental.
Which means they probably plan 6 for 2026 by doing the maths. What's your thoughts on that, Brad Seeley? I know obviously you're in the past were unpleased about the length of times these games take to develop, but
it's ridiculous. So we went past the anniversary for Skyrim the other day. It's like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's what's it now? It's 6 years since the last Fallout.
Yep.
And they've said, I'll let you read on so they talk about it later on. I know games are bigger and bolder, but so if they started making Starfield after Fallout 4, he said it's still going to be 7 years in between games. So 7 years for that one.
Yeah, they said they would like to release them quicker, but it roughly takes between 5 and 6 years to make a game. And as their current model, they only work on one game at a time. Is that the issue? Is that they work on one game at a time, and they probably should just now split into 3 teams: the Starfield team, the Fallout team, the Elder Scrolls team.
Yeah, because even if they wasn't like they split the teams down and split them into projects, it's you'd still kind of get like one. But it could be like when Starfield comes out, then that group then goes to work on the next one that's going to come out. So they all split them in between. So you got 3 down to 2, because these saying you're got something, you know what I mean? You don't have to start off scratch. Like they're going to release Starfield, and right now, let's go on to Elder Scrolls, because I'm pretty sure in the past they've said, "Oh yeah, no, we're working on Elder Scrolls." but they're not. They're no, when they say they're working on it, they mean they've done like a little CG trailer of some mountains and Elder Scrolls 6. That was it. So
yeah, I think how from obviously I don't know anything about game development, but what I imagine it is like obviously different stages. So you obviously got pre-production and then each stage. And I think once the project gets to that like stage in the development, the previous stage, they then work on the next game, and it's kind of like a cycle like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I've heard, or I think it was Todd Howard or someone else said, basically Starfield is basically playable from start to finish. Obviously, it's still got another year before it comes out, so it's probably the state of where Cyberpunk is when it released.
Yeah,
just buggy as hell, and they basically put a whole year polishing. So it's now with that team, but the rest of the studio, concept art, writers, I imagine all that is done for Elder Scrolls. It's now in developing the game, and I imagine now Fallout 5 is now with the writers, and they've basically confirmed they got an idea for it. So that's in the writing stage. Do you know what I mean? It's probably that's how it works, but it's taken 6 years each, and now you've got 3. It's like
I'll be the next time the next Fallout comes out, I'll be over 40 years old, and that people will probably be saying to me, "You probably shouldn't still be playing video games. You're 42 or whatever." But it's mad.
When will it be out? It'll be out
2030. It's
30. Yeah,
2030. So I'll be 43.
No, 32, 33, right?
Yeah, so I might have a kid. I'll have a teenage son or daughter, and they'll be playing it, and I'll be like, "Oh, can I have a go?" And they'll be like, "No, Dad, go away, loser." So it's I mean, I just don't. I like Bethesda games, and I like. Obviously, I want to finish gaming. I do. It does annoy me the gap in between. You think we had Fallout 3 back in 2008, amazing game. 2 years later, we had Fallout New Vegas because they give it to Obsidian. It was like, Obsidian, can you do this game for us, please? And it was one of the best Fallout games. Fallout New Vegas is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I saw the article that the interview, and they said they could consider giving it to another studio, but they've not thought about it that much yet. Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Maybe even if it's just in part to help, I don't know.
I think they need to keep it in-house just because obviously 76 was given to a side team or whoever they got to develop it. And obviously that was a little bit of a disaster in it.
Yeah. But then that was bad. They was going for a different like format on that, weren't they?
True. Yeah. They went for the live service thing, which maybe Halo's going to now go through. But I think the 3 teams, you split them into 3 teams, and rather like what you said, where one's done, they go into another team. They stay as separate, and you have them released every 2 years. So there's still 6 years between each project. But us as a fan base or whoever, consumers, get a new game every 2 years from them. So I don't know, the Starfield team released their game in 2022. Then 2026 is the Elder Scrolls team. Then 2028 is the Fallout team. And then 2030, obviously there's 6 years between there, is then the Starfield. So you get Starfield 2. Do you know what I mean? Just every 2 years. I don't think you want one every year, but every 2 years I think is long enough wait for a big RPG from them.
I know
same development time.
When you wait this long, the game release is a big deal. So when Elder Scrolls 6 does come out, it's going to be massive. Yeah, when Fallout 5 comes out, it'll be huge. Just like Red Dead, Red Dead Redemption 2 when it got released, everyone was just going on because that was another 8-year wait. Everyone was there's such big events, but I just want to play, I just want to play games, and for them to re-release Skyrim again, and I think I'll get like some sort of update because I've got the PS4 version.
Yeah, got the special edition.
I've got the special edition, yeah. If I bought the new one though, it would have been the 4th time I've bought that game. It's just, you know what I mean? I can't do it. I can't buy it again.
Yeah, you can't have a go at me about GTA then.
No, it's terrible. Yeah, but I just want to play some good games. I'm looking forward to Starfield. Obviously,
I am as well. Actually, that is the one game where I'm like, I kind of feel like I want an Xbox for that. I don't want a Series X. I want it to look like 4K and all that stuff. Yeah, kind of like, this could be not the new Mass Effect, but do you know what I mean? This could be because obviously we saw BioWare for N7 Day, whatever. I posted a little poster, but I am not excited just because BioWare are just not the same team anymore. I want to see what Dragon Age is like, and we'll see because their last couple of releases have been bad. But yeah, this could be the sci-fi RPG that is like,
and if it goes well, we'll get another one in about 16 years. So that's something to look forward to. You know, it's
under the current model, I'm surely Microsoft are like, do you not want to do this? Like,
you think Microsoft would maybe be stepping in like, look, listen, we'll get you some help because you need to start pumping some more games out. Because it's you can't just coast by. I know, obviously, like Doom and that, but
the whole industry could be flipped on its head in 10 years' time. There could just be gaming, could just be a whole
different thing. Exactly.
Google could be the forefront of gaming. Facebook could be by then, for all we know. We've seen
the metaverse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's weird. That is. Yeah. I don't think that guy. I know this is off topic, but I don't think he's human. Mark Zuckerberg. He's
no. Well, what is he? Alien?
Android.
Android. Okay.
Some sort of like he's odd. Do you see that picture of him when he was surfing and his like face was completely covered in sun lotion? It's weird.
No. Yeah, he has zero social skills. I get that. Yeah. No emotions, but
back on top.
Ready Player One is basically what they're creating, right?
Yeah.
Ready Player One. That is literally. But you can see it like where we are now with technology. You can see in like 50 years' time. Whether or not it is the metaverse or something else comes in, you can kind of see that VR.
I don't want that though. That sounds like some sort of dystopian hell.
I think that's the future, mate.
You know, you put your VR. Yeah, that's it. He looks like a Joker. What the hell? How'd you do that?
It's terrifying.
He takes skincare very seriously, gentlemen.
He looks like fucking Michael Myers. Jesus. Sorry.
But Brad brought up a really good point. Yeah, they're planning this far in the future. When are we even going to have console generations in? Are we even, you know what I mean? Are we going to, because
we're going to be on the cloud.
A lot of people said this will be the last standalone console generation, you know, like, so it's weird.
Knows?
Like,
who knows?
I don't know. But although they say, don't they, everything that's going to be going to be released is pretty much ready to go years before it comes out. So maybe they know something we don't. I don't know. It's
it sounds like obviously they got Elder Scrolls ready. Well, they know they're making it. We know Elder Scrolls is coming, and they've already confirmed that they've got an idea for Fallout 5. So their next 2 games, so what, next 12, 13 years worth of games planned.
I think like the way Bethesda announced by Fallout 4 was, here's Fallout 4. Guess what? It's coming in November, and there's a new Fallout shit where there's a little mobile game you can play now for free, and
that was cool.
It's just the way they done that, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, this is the best!" And I remember when I saw the E3, I was so excited, and now they're like, "Yeah, we've got this game coming out 6 years, just 6 short years." So cool, thanks. So yeah, you know but you want good games, you have to wait. But I just wish we didn't have to wait as long. You know, and don't get me wrong. Thingy games are mostly crap, Call of Duty games, but they manage to pump one of them out every year to its detriment, obviously. But they
I was gonna say you don't want that Activision
I don't want
model.
that, but they do pump them out like.
Yeah,
you know, they should maybe skip a year. They should skip a year.
They're always a finished product as well. The
online's always quite tight, so
they appease the audience.
Yeah. Although I've heard Vanguard. Some people are saying Vanguard's pretty meh. It's a bit of a meh.
Aren't they all meh? But it doesn't matter. It still sells 30 million copies. Like, it doesn't. Activision don't care.
I like back in the day when you had Modern Warfare, and then when you got Modern Warfare 2, the story continued, and you wanted to know what happened to Captain Price and Soap. That was good. They were the good ones.
Good old days.
Good old days, yeah. I just like to reminisce. I like to sit in my room in the dark with a bottle of alcohol and reminisce and cry about how it used to be. Yeah.
Wow.
That's another topic I've got. Yeah. Is the golden age of gaming dead? Has it already been and gone? And I think
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it has.
Oh, really?
Well, that's the topic. It's done.
Yeah, maybe it's just
I knew
nostalgia.
I knew you wouldn't agree. You would be like, "Oh no, it's not," because we've got Avengers. How can Golden Age of the game be dead when we can play Avengers?
Yeah, maybe
Spider-Man's coming out on it, so
I think the quantity of quality games has gone down just because of how long they take to play. But when you do get that game that is top, I think they're far better than what they were, and it's just nostalgia.
Yeah, I think there just used to be a lot more range, a lot more. There used to be a lot more choice, like back in the day. People used to make games like one that pops in my head, Dante's Inferno. Like I never played it, but it was there. You know, like it just seemed to be more. Now there's like you say, there's fewer, but they're bigger games.
Yes.
You know?
And they also seem to last around a lot longer because of money. Obviously, they're all businesses. They want to make the most money as possible. And everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon of either analyzing the game like a FIFA, like a Call of Duty, or the free-to-play model like a Fortnite or whatever. And obviously have a battle pass and obviously the revenues. And when you look at the top 10 list of those games that make the most money each year, it's those games, the free-to-play models and things like that. So there's no wonder why these publishers are like, well, we want a piece of the pie. And that's clearly Ubisoft that's desperate because they're making every single one of their franchises.
Oh, what did I see? I saw
now Microsoft are getting.
I did see something. Yeah, they said Far Cry 6 could be the last one. The next Far Cry is going to be a live service game. So they're taking Far Cry in that direction as well, by the looks of it.
Wow.
Probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, Assassin's Creed's going in that direction. Although I jumped into Valhalla briefly this week because I always try to jump in and see if it hooks me, and it never really does. And it's basically a hybrid live service game already. Like I feel like this was a testing ground to see whether or not they could do it. They've got like an online store which has cosmetics. They have a vendor where they get basically weekly missions where tasks basically, and the reward is loot. They have live events. So at the moment when I logged on, they have now having like the Viking Christmas event in the summer. Do you know what I mean? They're doing live. It's basically a live service game, but in a single player. Do you know what I mean? So I think that it's quite clear. And the amount of content they give you is so bloated. They're like, well, we can segment this into DLC packs. Yeah, Assassin's Creed is already there. This was the testing ground. It's quite clear. Especially as someone who plays a lot of looters and things like that. It's like, oh wow, this is literally just got to tweak it and it's there. But anyway, talking about another game I played this week and the main topic, which is my impressions of GTA and whether or not it holds up in 2021. I've kind of broken it down into 3 sections.
Oh, is it the 3 games? Is it the 3 games or creative?
I haven't actually played 3, which I guess I should have for the review. I played Vice City and then played San Andreas. So my opinions are basically just based on those. In Vice City, I've unlocked the second island. So I'm quite a bit into the story now. And then San Andreas, I jumped on just so I could experience that. And I've done, I don't know, the first 10, 12 missions. So I'm still quite early in that. So the 3 points I wanted to break them down into was graphically, gameplay, and the story. Because I think that they're the 3 areas where you can kind of evaluate how good it looks or how much it plays, and obviously whether or not the story has aged poorly or whatever. Graphically, to start, I'm mixed with the graphics. So I think the positives are the open world and the reflections and the lighting are fantastic. I said that before I even played the game. I knew it was going to be that. When you're in a car and you're driving and you can see all the neon lights in Vice City and they're all reflecting off the car and it controls and plays like GTA 5, it's like, wow, this is good. And you see the palm trees and you see the grass moving in the wind. You're like, okay, this looks like a decent game. However, where it falls down is in cutscenes and character models. They just look really bad. It's more the proportions. And I don't know if it's because like mocap has come a long way in the last, 20 years, but like heads seem too small, bodies seem too big. Sometimes the legs, I don't know. It's just they look
Weird.
odd. So you almost like go like accept that, like the characters just don't look right. I had a moment where CJ is like in the front driving, and then he's talking to the two guys at the back, and he's like turning his neck all the way like an owl. And he's like, this is like clearly they didn't ever like do the body, like the body doesn't move. The body was like forward, and the neck just spun around. And I'm like, it was like, oh my god, this is freaky.
Oh shit, here we go again. CJ's head 180 degrees.
Yeah. Obviously, I never notice these things when playing the originals on the PS2, but it's quite noticeable now, the way the characters move, the animations, all those things. But I guess the most important thing was the environments looking good? Does the cities and things feel more modern? And they absolutely do. It's just the character models, and it's kind of a thing that you can either accept or not accept. And I think those are the things that are getting obviously all the clicks, like you're seeing the pictures of the faces and things like that. And that's where it's probably getting review bombed the most.
I think I saw in maybe it's Grand Theft Auto 3 that the new rain graphics, when it rains, you can't see anything. It's just like it's just like a sheet like that you just can't see.
I saw
that video where he's riding the bike right in San Andreas. Is that same clip?
No, this was Grand Theft Auto 3. So
okay. Fine. Yeah, I saw that part. It has rained in San Andreas when I've played it. I was thinking, oh, is this moment where it's just going to keep coming? And it didn't. It was just, it wasn't like that for me at all. Maybe I'm lucky with bugs or whatever. See, I'm playing it on PS5. There were quite big day one patches for all 3 games. So I don't know if these people are playing it without the I don't know. But my games are not buggy. They've been playing perfectly fine. I've had no issues with that. Going on to gameplay, and I think this is probably the most significant change and the most important was obviously how it played and whether or not they modernized it. Obviously, as we know, they've changed the controls to basically GTA 5 controls, which are fine. Vice City in particular, I think the cars control really good. They like really tight, like there's no drift, there's no like you can, which is quite nice to play. The aim assist is quite is almost like automatic. It like locks on, but because obviously where the NPCs are obviously old, they don't drift or hide, they just stand still. You just lock on, you just shoot them, and it's like, all right, this is a little bit simple and easy. Games come a long way with that. Which kind of goes into the kind of like Vice City and how bare bones it is, especially compared to like San Andreas and jumping in. I'm like, oh wow, there's so much more to the game. And obviously with 5, like with all the stats where obviously you do things, you improve your weapon skills. Obviously you can do obviously the muscle and the fat and the respect bars and all the stats and things. Obviously none of those things are in Vice City. And also shops like clothes shops, changing your haircut, going into food shops and things like that. None of those things are in Vice City, so it feels a little bit bare. Is the best way of putting it. And it's also a little bit weird that they've got those little tokens. I forgot about those. They've got little tokens around the map where obviously health tokens, and they've got a little drug token, and then obviously the star token where obviously you can lose your wanted level and things like that.
I completely forgot about all this.
I thought, and when I saw a little token on the ground, it was a little bit like, wow, this is a little bit odd. But obviously all those things are still there. The story, and obviously we can make it a more open discussion and you guys can have questions or whatever. Both games, they start really slow. They're almost like fetch and quest missions where you literally just like get in the car, go around the corner, do one thing, come back, or get in the car, shoot this one person, come back. I don't know, it was just a little bit like, obviously modern day games now, there's a little bit more to early missions or tutorial missions. It's just like one at a time. They're almost like broken down to like almost like the first 5 or 6 missions, a little bit like, oh really, just going around the corner, I don't know. But the quality of life things when you fail a mission and it pops up, do you want to restart this immediately, is really handy. Just because there's been a couple of times where, I don't know, my car's just blown up from, I don't know, I just done something and my car's blown up. I was just like, oh great. And then to start again and go back to the beginning is a little bit of a pain. So that's quite a good quality of life change. But once you do get into the story, I have to say that the missions do come a little bit more difficult, more to it, and it's a little bit more enjoyable. I have to say San Andreas stands out a lot, just because it's all that I don't know, that stereotype gangster. And it almost seems almost too stereotype in modern day 2021. Just the way it's almost like that. I don't know what the movie's like, Friday or Next Friday or whatever, that whole like ghetto black culture in America. I don't know. It's very like stands out. It's like, wow, okay, I don't know if they would do this or make it a little bit more not as in your face. It looks a little bit too much, but they're obviously the same games. They haven't changed anything. They're just remasters. But anyway, they're my early impressions on the game. So what you guys think off the back of that from what you've seen or questions or whatever?
Yeah, I know I said I'm going to wait for the physical copy, so I haven't played it, obviously. I know Brad is very much the skeptic of the group. He is not interested. Or you want to buy them when they're individual, don't you? You said you don't want to, you want to.
I might do. I'm swaying more towards not going to bother at all now.
Yeah.
But I might do.
Yeah.
Might do.
For me, I know you've not played them a lot. Is there a lot cut? To imagine they would have cut some stuff. I know we saw some of the songs have been cut. I got confused and I thought the list of songs was ones that's been cut, but they were included because otherwise there would have been like 2 songs, I think. So
yeah,
I like it's like the have you noticed anything like cut, censored, or have the radio stations changed? And because you used to have like Chatterbox with Laszlo and all that. Are they all still?
They're all still there. All that is the exact same. Apparently, I didn't realize this, but the ports, the PS4 ports, PS3 ports, whatever, they had those songs cut as well. So that obviously the Michael Jackson songs are gone, and there's other songs that also gone. Apparently those weren't in the ports either because of the licensing problems. So basically the same songs were in the ports are basically in this version.
Okay.
Which are different apparently to the originals on PS2.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, but I read that somewhere. So apparently it's the same list. I haven't noticed anything else changed. Obviously I'm early in the game. I know I heard beforehand that there was a guy that had the Confederate flag in Vice City.
Yeah, on his shirt or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're basically taken that away or whatever. Yeah. But no, they haven't censored any language. There's a lot of
is it true that they've been pulled from PC because of people getting into the source code and finding all the cut stuff? So they've taken it off?
I don't think so. I've not heard that. I don't know.
I don't know if it was just clickbait, but I saw yesterday on Twitter that it had been removed from buying it from PC until they sorted it out because people had got into the source code and taken all the stuff out that wasn't supposed to be there, such as unlicensed music and maybe that sort of cut content.
Oh, really?
Damaging. I don't know if it's true or not. Might have to verify that, but I definitely saw it on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, I heard something about, or I didn't read it. I don't even know what the story is, so I probably should bring it up, I guess. But the hot coffee thing, obviously in San Andreas, did that get cut?
I don't know what I saw this, but I don't know what this.
I forgot what that was. Yeah. I remember it at the time, and then I was like, "What was that again?"
What was the hot coffee thing?
Isn't it the mission where you basically take this girl on a date and she invites you in for hot coffee,
right?
But you just basically just have sex, right?
Right.
Is it that mission? Is that got cut? I don't know why that would be cut. Because
much
the world, what is quite funny, and it also stands out of how games have changed. You literally, in the world of San Andreas, you walk out your house, CJ's house, and there's just prostitutes walking everywhere. Like everybody's just a prostitute. And there's loads of them. Yeah, there's just loads of them. And the way they walk with their hips, it's like you remember how they walk in GTA. It's so it stands out. I was like, no other people other than just the world is just littered with them.
That's odd. Well, so I don't have a question lined up. It's not really a question. I've seen like some people criticizing it, saying that modders done it better than Rockstar, and like it's going to be getting released on iOS. Do you think it's going to be the same like full price for iOS, like £55, $60?
Probably, yeah. If they feel that people on that platform are going to pay it, then why not?
Yeah, it's just
there's a lot more people. Like obviously, it's obviously all about money, and obviously tapping into the mobile market. It's unlocking so many more devices. Don't know how many iOS devices a few years ago it was at 1 billion, right? I'm sure it's more. It's obviously more now. Don't know how many Androids, probably just as many. So talking about a few billion people now have access to these games.
Yeah.
So that's why.
What's it like unlocking trophies on GTA? Because obviously if you played the ports, you would have done it before, but I didn't play the ports, so.
Yeah. I've obviously only unlocked a few, mostly in Vice City because I'm a lot further in that game. Yeah, I'm obviously going through them. The trophy list seems like it's quite attainable. Obviously, probably the biggest thing is that you got 100% everything and do all the side stuff, which you probably do as you're going along. But yeah, no, it's fine.
Is Samuel Jackson still voiced? Is it still like because he voiced the cop in San Andreas, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Cop, yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. It sounds like the same person. Same.
Okay.
I didn't notice that it was Samuel Jackson, but I didn't know that.
I'm gonna check in case I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't think no voice actors or anything like it's still all the same from the originals. None of that has changed at all. Yeah, it's exactly the same. So I would imagine that would be yes. I did the RC mission though, when you obviously have the remote control helicopter in Vice City.
Yeah.
And you got to pick up the bombs.
Oh,
that was a little bit tricky to do. To say that wasn't a particularly fun mission, but it was fine. I did it first go. It was fine. But I say it's quite easy. I've come to realize that I'm doing mission after mission and I'm not fouling them at all.
One of my questions was going to be, is it too easy now? And you sort of answered it earlier on as well with the aim assist being a thing now and the enemies not being as clever. It was designed, that game was designed without aim assist, and now it's got that. Do you feel like it's too easy, or?
Yeah, it's quite easy. Yeah, it's very easy. But I don't know how, maybe up in the difficulty. I don't know if there is an option. I imagine there is. Might make that a little bit harder. But yeah, it's probably hard to get around because like I said, it's because the NPCs don't move. They just stand still and just shoot you.
Yeah.
And you're then... all you got to do in like San Andreas is crouch, like and just that it goes into like automatic aim assist. You shoot, and the automatic goes to the next one, shoots, goes to the next one, shoot. And so if you've got like a submachine gun, like I've got like a machine gun, sorry, I just kill everybody, and I'm hardly taking any damage.
So you haven't come across any bugs?
No.
Right. I might have been unlucky. So my mate Josh was playing it night before last. And I was playing Destiny, and I was like, "Oh, you're playing GTA? All right, put on your share play. Let's have a look." So I could see. I wanted to see because I've seen videos and stuff, but I want to see it in front of my monitor that I'd be playing on. Obviously, it'd be compressed, but I was like, "Let's see how clunky it is. Let's see how they move around." And he was doing this mission on a boat, and it was in
Vice City.
No, it was Vice City, yeah. And literally I've been watching it for 20 seconds and it just looked so bad. Like the camera angle was just kept on getting stuck on the back of the boat, so you couldn't see the character. An enemy just kept on spawning in and dropping into the same spot, and he was shooting him dead. Another one spawned in, shot him dead. Then he went downstairs. The mission was telling him to go downstairs on the deck of the boat and meet these two other people to kill. And there's these two arrows coming out of the boat downstairs with no enemy spawning in, and he just couldn't progress the mission. And it was like my first 30 seconds of watching gameplay, which, all right, maybe that's not reflective then. I thought, because you hear all the stuff online and everyone's saying it's buggy as hell and it's a con and this, that, and the other, but you're saying you've played hours and you've not come across any bugs. So obviously there's that experience and that and everything in between. I
don't believe I've done that mission in Vice City. So as far as I remember, maybe I have. I don't know, but I haven't come across any issues playing so far.
So for me, my thoughts just remain that I imagine it looks all right. The lighting wise, like we knew it would. It seems to look pretty good.
I would go as far as say it looks excellent. But the lighting and the reflections is probably as good as you could get.
Right. Okay. So I might reconsider. I've been like a roller coaster. I've been very back and forth. I've been very strongly against it. I was nearly down for buying it the other day, and then I was like, oh no, I'll just hold off. But I just don't need that nostalgia here. I just don't need it. I don't warrant the 60. I'm not normally, I buy microtransactions, so it's not like I'm very mean in terms of splashing my earnings, but
sure, I know what you're saying.
I don't think the 60 quid warrants I don't feel like I have huge nostalgia for those early GTA games, and that's me personally. I know people do. I played San Andreas and loved it a long time ago, and I never played Vice City, which I was thinking of getting Vice City, so I haven't got the nostalgia with that. And that's supposed to be like, you know, one that really tugs on a lot of people's heartstrings because it was a, you know, big game in a big era. But yeah, I don't know. It's just for me, and this is just so I get why people are into it. I get why people want to do it, but it's just for me.
I would imagine you would probably not be that impressed with Vice City just because of how bare it is, and what gets me through it is being there again.
Yeah, fine.
Like it's just those memories of like, I know these streets. I've been down these roads so many times. That I don't know. It's just hearing the music, and obviously it's
probably everything is nostalgia for you. That's all. That's pretty much all you're getting out of this is probably nostalgia. Then.
Yeah. 80% I would say is nostalgia. That's getting me through it. The 20% is that they are generally fun games, right? It's not like it's
they weren't crap games. Yeah, it's not like
they are still fun, like driving around, doing those missions. The characters are a bit wacky and over the top characters. The shooting, although it's easy, they're still fun, and there are some difficulties, especially when you're like, there's a lot of like car chasing missions in Vice City. There are a lot of fun elements to it, and obviously just I don't know. Dumb NPCs is probably what's ruining the game. It's like you see the cops, and then you just go into like the spray your car a different color, and then all of a sudden you come out and this car's still the plates are still outside, and all of a sudden you just back out, and they're like, oh, clearly a different person. They just saw me go in there, standing right there, but now I'm apparently something different. Do you know what I mean? Those things like that, it's like, all right, fine. You just got to accept it's an old game, and that's what it is.
Sure.
Right. So.
Do you feel like they put less development time into it than expected, or more? Like now it's releasing, you've seen what the difference is. Do you feel like, and considering it was delayed,
was it? It wasn't delayed, was it?
Oh, wasn't it?
It only got announced like a month ago, right?
I'm just going to pop out. I'm just going to pop off a minute. Carry on.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it didn't then. Okay. Oh,
yeah, it literally got announced. Yeah, no, it got announced like a month ago, and then they basically said, it's coming out.
Oh, it's rumors, wasn't it? Because it was rumors about when it was coming out, and maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
But... It got leaked that it was being worked on, but it's only been, I don't know, development time was about 2 years, I believe, for this. For me, obviously everybody's got different expectations, and I think a lot of people's disappointment, and I think we may have alluded to this or discussed this in a previous episode, where I think some people thought it might have been a remake, or they thought they were getting more than what it actually is. Obviously, where we do the podcast, obviously we are a little bit more informed. My expectations were it's not going to be reinventing the wheel. It's not a remake. It's the same game. So you almost got to accept those downfalls and just accept that it's going to just look a little bit better. The controls are going to be modernized. My big thing was, does it look a little bit better? Which it does. And how does it play? And it plays like a modern day GTA. It's playable. Plays like 5, which was the most important things for me, and it absolutely delivers on that.
So would you say it met your expectations? Didn't exceed or disappoint? It just met your expectations.
Yeah, exactly. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it is what it is. And obviously, maybe I'm lucky with bugs. Obviously, your friend, you say Josh, was playing it, and obviously maybe a little bit unlucky. But I've heard so many things like that over the last year since the PS5 was launched. Like people were having problems with certain games. Like loads of people apparently had problems with, like, I don't know, Returnal, for example.
Yeah, and Cyberpunk as well. You didn't have many problems with Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
logged on, and within its first mission, double NCPs in the whole game. Everyone was doubled up, and it's like, oh fuck this, and you turn it back off again. You did the whole game pretty much, and like, I don't know, maybe you're just lucky.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Or maybe everyone else is just whinging and they're wrong.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just lucky with certain games. I don't know. But yeah, there's been a few examples in the last year of just buggy games. And I haven't had those problems at all. Except for one. What was it? I can't remember which one game it was. It kept crashing. Obviously, I had problems with Outriders, which everybody did. And there was another game which I kept turning on and just kept kicking me out. Elder Scrolls, maybe? Oh yeah, Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls Online broke my controller. That was the karma coming back, or whatever it is, that broke.
So Would you for GTA? Would you recommend like buying or waiting for a sale? Is it worth full price at the minute, or not? I know it depends on what you want, but
yeah, that's why that question's hard to answer. Right?
It's not worth it for me, but it was worth it for you.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, I can answer that. I don't regret buying it. Say that. I don't regret buying it. Obviously, it's for individuals to decide whether or not you want to play it. If you have the desire and you played them before and you have that nostalgia and your expectations are this ain't a remake, it's just modern day, they've just updated the controls and it looks a bit better. If you're happy with that, then yeah, you're going to be fine. And obviously, accept that the character models haven't aged very well. They look dodgy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
And animations.
I think I will wait. I'm gonna wait to the physical though. So,
well, San Andreas is coming on Game Pass, right, in December, and obviously GTA 3 is on PS Now. So people that have got Xboxes or PS Now, whatever,
can try.
They can just try them out. Obviously, I think Game Pass getting San Andreas is probably the better deal, which is probably a good move from Microsoft. So, if you got an Xbox and you're interested, I would probably wait until it comes to Game Pass and you just check out San Andreas, because that's the one that's aged the best. Obviously, it's got so much more to it. Playing Vice City first and then jumping into San Andreas is like, oh wow. Just because there was a 2-year gap, is like, wow, this game has really come a long way. There's all the stats and all the things, and obviously so many more missions and riding the bike, and I don't know, it just feels it added so much more to it. So kind of want them to do the same for 4. Release 4 with all the DLC.
Yeah, 4 was quite good. I like 4. Yeah.
Would you have rathered they remade one of them, even if it meant pushing GTA 6 back by a couple of years, and remade one of the classics?
What, from the ground up?
Yeah, because I fucking would have.
Yes and no. Yes, I would say yes, because I want Vice City to be a remake of Vice City, but I just want 6 to be Vice City 2.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? So just make 6 Vice City 2. That's what I want.
Yeah. I feel like, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I guess because GTA 6 is just taking so long, it just feels like it doesn't exist in my universe at the moment. So it's just like,
it shouldn't. It's GTA 5's in the top 10 lists still. It's ridiculous. It's a beast. Eventually, they're going to have to be like, I don't know if Take-Two are ever going to be like, yeah, we made enough money from this. Is a business ever going to make that decision? We've milked this enough. I guess once it stops making money, will it ever? At this point,
forums,
I feel like it's
now. There's literally forums. There's Reddit posts. Like I follow the GTA Reddit subreddit, and people are just trying to boycott GTA just to force them into.
I think that's the only way it's going to happen. As soon as it drops out of the top 10,
people are really calling everyone to boycott GTA, but it's just unfortunately.
Did they announce in the last quarter? Because obviously they actually released the sales numbers, and I think it sold another, was it 2 million or 4 million copies in the last quarter?
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
Like 4 million. Yeah, I think it was 2. It was either 2 or 4 million copies were sold in the last quarter.
Sure.
It's like. Whenever they're not releasing another one, because people literally, like, good games probably don't even sell some good games don't even sell 4 million copies in its lifetime.
Sure.
This game is still selling like 2 or 4 in like I don't know, whatever years later. But yeah, anyway, GTA.
There we go.
Have you got any this week in gaming, Brad?
No. I didn't know Brad was going to be on, so
fine. Fair enough. What have you guys been playing this week? We'll round it up with that.
Brad can go because I've been playing nothing.
I've been playing FIFA.
Very kind.
Which is as good as nothing because it's FIFA. FIFA, the third most PS5 game played this year. Did you see the list? The top 10?
No.
5 games. So,
no, I didn't see that. What, Sony, your personal list?
No, Sony released the list of the top 5 PS5 games played since release.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get our list. I like that each year. When they send you like your top, your stats.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we do an episode about it when we get our stats. Obviously, I know my top one. Obviously, it's clearly Destiny.
Number 6, Destiny was. It was on the top 10.
Was it really?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Here you go. We're dragging it up there. Those people.
Fortnite was first.
Yeah.
Fortnite. Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah, but I was surprised to see Destiny so high up there, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Beats
Cool.
Spider-Man, Demon Souls, NBA, MLB. But yeah, it's good. Good to see Destiny's doing good, thriving.
Although you would expect ongoing live service games to have obviously more people playing it for a longer period of time than single player games. So
sure. Yeah, so not much other than FIFA and Destiny that I've been playing. I'm waiting for that. I've got a Christmas break coming now, so I'm going to really dive into some good single-player action. I'm going to finish off Ghost of Tsushima. I'm buzzing to get back into that. And probably God of War will be my Christmas break games.
Yeah, I still want to do a watch-along with you with that, if we can, please. Because I'm intrigued to see where you are. I know you're stuck.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing I've realized my save hasn't copied over. So I need to, a save did copy over, but it's like an old, I don't know, I need to sort it out. I went to dive in the other day and it taken me back like hours behind, but it wasn't at the start. So it's copied a save over, but not the right save. So I need to sort that out, or I might just scrap it and start from the start again. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Yeah. Let me know when you're playing it. I'll give you a little one.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's it for this week. I haven't been playing much else other than GTA, Destiny. I did have a little bit of a dabble into a few other games yesterday, like I said, Assassin's Creed, and then I re-downloaded The Witcher, just because whenever I play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I'm just like, this reminds me of The Witcher, but it's not The Witcher. But I've been waiting for the PS5 version, as you guys know, and I was like, should I just bite the bullet and just download it? So I did. I downloaded it yesterday. And I jumped in. My save hasn't come across. I started it and I was just like, just the fall of the hours and hours that I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
And then I turned it off and started watching that Shang-Chi instead. So, that's what I've been doing this week. But
I wouldn't bother taking my save over from PS4 onto PS5 for Witcher because it's such a crap. Like it was just bad. I'd start again. Like,
what was bad?
Well, like all the perks I'd chosen and the armor I had and the weapons. It just
I thought you said talking about the game was bad.
No, like my character was rubbish. So yeah, I'd start again.
Yeah, it might be probably a good thing to actually just start fresh.
Obviously, my powerful character is on the Switch, so powerful Geralt is on the Switch. So,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anyway. Until next week, thanks for watching. And we'll be back next week with our yearly anniversary. Well, not our anniversary, but the PlayStation 5's anniversary review. So we'll be discussing our thoughts on the hardware, the software, and the games released in the first year of PlayStation 5.
Yes.
So see you then, guys. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.